every day I hear the left scream about how Trump is racist, Trump is this, Trump is that. But today he just freed Larry Hoover, or pardon him rather, also another rapper, Young NBA. But I'm curious to see how they post about this, because this is something they usually never post. We're going to talk facts, accountability, and what real redemption looks like. First, Larry Hoover Jr. pleased to hold his father. Y'all check this out.
Larry, explain to them that how Trump has freed him from the feds, but what's going on with the state?
Okay. Trump has freed my father from federal custody. But as I told people plenty times before, it's been a dual jurisdiction. So now the state has the opportunity to go get him. And what we're trying to do right now is we're trying to reach out to Governor Pritzker to let him know that my father would be a blessing to this city. And he could also leave the city if he needs him to leave. But we dealing with Pritzker, and he can go into state custody. And all he has to do is strike his pen and say that we don't need this geriatric old man. He served his time. Like he's not worried about leading any type of gang organization or running the streets. If he does anything for the streets, it would be telling the YNs that you're going to live the life that he lived if you don't change your life. He would be an asset and a blessing to this community. All the people that stuck on some other stuff, like your understanding is just kind of weak. Your understanding of life, your understanding of manhood, your understanding of being a woman. We not with that. We're all about peace and love. And we need Pritzker to understand that he will be a blessing to this community. And we want him to give this man a second chance. Pritzker believes in redemption and believe that he should be redeemed. Everybody else in this situation has been able to have redemption and have a second chance at life. And I would love to actually be able to hold my father. I'm close, but I'm not all the way there yet. I know it don't sound right, but I want to hug and kiss a man. My kids want to hug and kiss their grandfather. My mother wants to hug and kiss her husband. Like, it's a whole family out here. This is a man in a man's life. This has nothing to do with any nonsense. We need for everybody to let Pritzker know that Larry Hoover will be a blessing to this community, an asset, no type of threats. If anything, it may be even more peaceful.
Pritzker, You know, you're watching a grown man right here fight to see his dad again. Now, I grew up in Gary, Indiana, Maryville, Indiana, and in those times, we definitely heard Larry Hoover and what he represented to us at the time, and the culture and things of that nature. But since then, things have, views and perspectives have evolved. Now, again, you like I said, you're watching this man fight to see his dad again, and it's not because his dad is a hero per se. He's not. But because his dad finally became a man worth seeing. And I think that's profound. Of course, we're not going to negate the fact that Larry Hoover caused damage. That's the truth. But over 50 years, and what is it, Florence, ADX? I'm sure that changed him. Not into a martyr, but he could definitely be a mentor to a lot of YNs out here on these streets. And Trump didn't ignore that. I think he acted upon that. He did what what I think Democrats were scared to do, or too fake to do, rather. And I don't think his son is asking for any sort of power. He's asking for purpose, and that's something that I want to point out. He wants his father to fix what he contributed to breaking. That's what real redemption demands, accountability. If a man renounces the gang he built, serves his time, and still wants to help, do we lock him away or let him lead from the front line? Again, I'm not saying that he's perfect. Now, I want y'all to watch this, where Larry Hoover Jr. talks about Kanye West's advocacy and him going to speak to Trump about his father.
Kanye did have a big part in making this happen.
Oh, he had a very big part, because he started it all off. He put us on the platform. He took us to the White House on his platform when he didn't have to do that. He stuck his neck out there. we know he don't have a problem with sticking his neck out there about what he believes in, and I'm glad he believes in this, and I got to do nothing but salute him for this.
Have you, I guess, could say anything directly to President Trump now, what would that be?
Man, I would tell him, thank you, I appreciate you. This is a dream come true. This is something I've been waiting for all my life. And when I say all my life, I'm 52. It's been 52 years waiting for this to happen. I've been waiting for my father to get out that cage and stop being a caged animal. He's been living like a caged animal up until now. The first thing he wants to do when he gets out is he wants to eat some real food. He want to eat a home-cooked meal. He want to eat what he used to eat when he was a kid. And it's crazy, but he hasn't had a good meal in a long time. But first and foremost, before we talk about him getting out, we got to get him out of state custody. So we still fighting that fight to deal with state custody. We need Pritzker to understand that my father is an elderly man that would be an asset to the community if he wanted him to be an asset. But if he wanted him to lead a community, he could lead a community. But he deserves a chance. He did 52 years. So it's time for him to get a chance to restart life. He says he believes in redemption, and he's a different person. He's not the same person that he was when he went away 50 years ago. He's going to be released from federal custody. But then we want the governor, Pritzker, to sign that pen stroke and let him free. Don't take him into state custody. You don't want no 70-year-old man. It's just a waste of time, a waste of money. And he's not a danger to your system. I mean, you just don't need him. It's time to let him. If you believe in redemption, he's did his time.
And to the people who are like, well, just because Trump freed this black man doesn't prove that he's not racist, I would say, typically if this was a one-off situation, I'll go, okay. But this has been consistent throughout Trump's first presidency and second presidency. Did I say it right? Presidency and his second presidency so far. I just wish the Democrats and the left would acknowledge that. But also, Kanye, he didn't have to do this. And Kanye is Kanye, regardless how you feel about him. I'll just say that. But he's also from Chicago. But he could have kept it safe and kept it industry, which is not like Kanye at all. But he brought this man's story to Trump. And apparently Trump listened, according to this clip. He didn't laugh. He didn't dodge. He actually moved. And I don't think that's racism. That's reality right there. When was the last time a Democrat invited a real conversation about gang reform and legacy anyway? And why is it always considered performative or some sort of, performative only when Trump helps black men walk free or black people walk free? Now, I want y'all to check out this clip from Angela Stanton-King, where she says, bring the OGs home, and she acknowledges young NBA.
Of the morning, I'm up, I'm out. It is the day after President Donald Trump has pardoned Larry Hoover, an NBA young boy. Listen, a lot of people are upset. They are not happy about President Trump pardoning Larry Hoover. But let me tell you this. Here's my perspective. Larry Hoover has been locked up for over 50 years. Within those 50 years, the government and local police departments have done everything in their power to try to end the gang violence that has swept across this nation. They have been unsuccessful in doing so. Therefore, I am all for them releasing the OGs, putting them back in the community. Let them fix the problems that they created. And you know why they'll be successful? Because they have the respect of the young niggas. Of the morning, I'm up, I'm out.
Yep, that's what we mean by YN. YN mean young nigga. But she's not wrong. This ain't about worshiping Hoover. It's about watching a man who finally gets it. And Angela is not defending none of his crimes and none of that. She's asking why we won't use the influence that can actually reach these kids, these children, these YNs. If Hoover told the streets to calm down, obviously we've evolved into a new era, so I won't negate the fact that you'll have a whole lot of young YNs out here like, man, I don't care who you was. This ain't 1970, whatever. But you have to understand, man, they listen more to him than a politician in the streets. They don't respect. I ain't gonna say they don't respect. I won't generalize it like that, but no, I won't say everybody's like that, but generally speaking, rather, the streets don't respect policies. They respect people. Tell me I'm lying. I'm saying Hoover's credibility could be the key to saving lives, not taking more. Redemption means facing the mess that you helped create and helping clean it up. I mean, you got to ask yourself questions like, what's more dangerous, letting him rot in a cell or letting him stop retaliation in real time, even if it's 1 or 2, saving somebody's life? I mean, if he's offering to fix the house he helped burn, why y'all boarding up the door? Now, I want y'all to see the left, CNN. As I told y'all, I'm curious to see how they would respond to this. Trump's pardons versus Biden's silence is the angle here. Let's check it out. The key differences between Trump and Biden.
I agree. It's being done out in the open. It's being done in the light of day. We're not doing it at the 11th hour here or as we're on our way up to the Capitol to see the next president being sworn in. And I might add, I don't think there's any doubt who's actually signing these pardons. You know, at the end of Biden's term, we had thousands of people that were pardoned or offered some kind of clemency for drug offenses. I have my doubts about whether Joe Biden signed all of those. And there's obviously, because of the new books that are out, clear reporting here that there was something of a Politburo running the White House at the end of the Biden administration when many of the most controversial pardons were issued. So in this case, Donald Trump, I think, is fully owning all of these decisions. And I agree with Ellie. In the Grimm case, if for no other reason than this paralysis that he suffered and the fact that he'd paid his debt, I think it's a defensible decision.
And in fact,
I agree. It's being done out in the open. It's being done.
Now, you don't got to like Trump now, but you have to admit it. He didn't hide. He didn't hide it. He took the heat for every decision so far, for sure. Biden, of course, he's had Kareem, KJP, minions. But Biden was quiet, and the auto pen was the political cover for him. Seriously, man, no transparency, no type of backbone. He ain't had no type of, well, almost literally. But, you know, Trump, he's making bold, controversial moves, and so far he stood 10 toes down on all of them. Biden pardons, they were sanitized, hidden, safe. When he operated by him. I don't know, man. If Trump was only about ego, why did he make decisions that brought him backlash? I mean, is selective mercy real justice or just political theater? Now I want y'all to check out this guy's reaction to Trump pardoning young NBA.
I never want to hear Trump is racist again. He done pardoned NBA young boy on top of Larry Hoover. Man, y'all tripping. Nah, he done pardoned NBA young boy. Oh, man. I don't want to hear no YN talking shit about Trump ever again. Never, ever, ever again. I never want to hear Trump is racist again.
I know that's right. It wasn't a stunt. This was a message to a whole generation that's been told nobody cares. He didn't just talk about black lives. He used his pen to give back. He didn't do what all these activists do. Hoover, young boy, I believe Chrisley's was another name I heard. It doesn't matter the background, though. He looked at redemption, not the headlines. And you can see that the coach felt it right there. Not because, you know, he necessarily, well, you can tell he messed with Trump. But I'm sure it's not going to be because they love Trump, but because they're going to see that he did something real. And forgiveness isn't weakness. It's strength with a memory, in my opinion. That's what I teach my kids. That's not racist. That's rare, actually. Larry Hoover isn't innocent. He built something that hurt a lot of people, but now he's trying to rebuild something better, and I think that matters. Trump saw that, I think, and he acted upon it. Not because Hoover's famous, in my opinion, but because real change start with men facing their past. So to Pritzker, I guess my message to him would be, this isn't about votes. I think this is more about division. Redemption isn't political. It's personal. And let this man prove his growth. Let him speak or admit justice was never the goal on y'all end, man. Y'all be safe. Please go check on somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.